What's up, everyone? It's your boy Survival, handsome rapper, mediocre producer, philanthropist, and founder of the community festival called Summerfest. That's why you're here, right? Summerfest is normally held annually in Somerville, Massachusetts, but due to COVID-19, that pesky thing that keeps lingering around and keeps us all in the house, it has been postponed indefinitely. So that being said, I want to catch up with some good people who have been involved with Summerfest in an interview segment I created called Fest Friends. Let's go over to one of my really good, just top tier people in the world, one of my best friends. This is a gentleman that I have known for, yikes, it's like going on 10 years. Is that right, Tyler?
Yeah, I think it'll be not actually. I think it'll be 9 in July. So
9
we're
in
almost there.
July. So I've known Tyler for 9 long years since he was a wee lad. We met at work. I'm not going to name the company. He can name it if he wants to. And I'll let him finish up the introduction. What's going on, Tyler? Tell us about yourself. Where are you living, and how, like what is it like 9 years later to be like hanging out with me?
It's amazing, honestly. And thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. We started working together in 2011, and I would say, Steph, you quickly became one of my biggest mentors, and I'll throw Darren in that mix as well. A couple
Shout out
years
Darren
older
Josie.
than me, Darren Josie. A couple years older than me, and you guys kind of took me under your wing, and I attribute a lot of my self confidence to you guys. So
Hopefully not too much self
yeah.
confidence.
So yeah, living in Somerville currently. I've actually been living in and out of Somerville since we met, which has been really nice, and it's a great community. And yeah, soon after we met, we kind of connected on the music aspect that we both had a passion for, and at that time, correct me if I'm wrong. This is I mean, I know you were writing and such, and you had the LE project, but Survival was maybe just a seedling at that point in
Su-
your head.
Survival at that point was more or less a concept, and I don't want to take away too much from your portion of the interview, but it was like I had been doing some online like chat battles in the late 90s, and some of those forums, and I got with the band, and um just speaking to that confidence thing, like that helped me build my confidence in doing things solo. But back to you. I meeting you and seeing that you were just so nice, just so innocent and naive. I was like, I gotta just come here, baby bird, come
Yeah,
here.
that for sure.
Yeah, that's amazing. That we're still friends, and we, like we talk to each other, and we, text each other every now and then. So, how did you get into music, and what exactly is it that you do for those who don't remember back to Summerfest 2018?
Sure. I started playing guitar right after maybe my senior year in college. Started fiddling around with some guitars that my roommates had, and they were teaching me the simple chords. And my quick back track, my childhood, I did play a couple different instruments. I think I started with piano at an early age. Kind of fell out of that. Same thing happened with saxophone. So I didn't really revisit, pursuing music until I was about 21 or 22. And from that point on, it became a side thing that I didn't really know what it would grow into, but I know that I really enjoyed playing. And so I guess I'll flash forward to more recently, where I've been writing a bit, different songs, and most recently writing for my nephews. I now have four nephews and one niece from my two oldest sisters, and they're all under the age of five and under.
Big family.
Yeah, and so as of late, it's really with COVID-19. keeping us under wraps, so to speak. It's been a great way to connect with my nephews because, long story short, I really wasn't getting into the songs that they were requesting. Wheels on the Bus, it was fun the first couple times, but I didn't, something about it, it's not that it's a bad message, it's a great sing-along song. Just something about it, I knew there was another option for me to connect with them through music, and it wasn't that. So as of late, I've been writing kid songs and trying to make them bearable for my sisters and brothers-in-law and my parents, who take the kids a lot as well. So
that's awesome. And so going from picking up the guitar and writing kid songs, doing some performances, everything in between. We're at this point where you can't really get in front of people. How speaking of COVID-19, we're all in lockdown. I'm interviewing you over Zoom here. How is that impacting you as far as like being creative? And did it force you to pivot into writing that children's music, or was that something more organic where you were going to go down that lane anyway?
I think I've been putting this off for a long time. I think that, or I know that I'm one of the fortunate ones in terms of the COVID-19 case, where I do have I have extra time now, and there's been no excuse to put it off. I think having a full-time job has it's a very interesting concept because we do it to feel secure financially and to feel as if we're going to be safe and having health insurance and so on and so forth. But this past few months has been a pretty eye-opening for me that the music scene it's really important to me. As you know, I try and get out as much as I can, especially to small venues, and they've all been closed down temporarily. So. And some of them have gone out of business, unfortunately, at this point, which is a bummer. But to answer your question, I think it felt organic because it felt like I had the time and there was no excuse. And the same thing with starting some type of social presence, which I'll get to later, but finally making it around to that as well, for the music side specifically.
Awesome. And so you're writing children's songs. Is the next step recording them and just arranging them and getting them all in a format that's easily consumed by kids?
Yeah, I think I might have brought this up when Joel interviewed me a couple of years ago. I've never really been, let's say since I've started playing guitar, I've never really had a thought about recording something, technically speaking, where I have different tracks and really polishing the music. I think for me right now, the biggest driver is that I know, when my parents and my sisters tell me this, that my nephews are requesting, their phone so they can see me while I'm playing the song. And so for me, I think for now the first step is to get a YouTube page established where it might not be as easy. I think YouTube is pretty accessible. And maybe I'm missing something, but I'd like the kids to have a visual of me playing, because that it's not as good as being there in person. I think we can all agree at every human level we'd rather be in the same room, but I want them to see me visually because I haven't been able to see them in person. And with that said, I do want to pair this with illustrations. You were kind enough to connect me with, I think it's Melanie Christopher.
Yep, great illustrator. Still Dead Art for anyone who's looking for some illustrations. Go check her out.
Yeah, I saw, and you said she did your album cover and your artwork, and I thought that was really well done. So the idea right now is we're kind of going back and forth on details and logistics and timing, but I'd like to depict all these characters that I'm writing about. Basically, each one is somewhat of an alliteration. As an example, Fearless Franny is the first one. She's a female astronaut, and she's badass.
Mm-hmm.
And this kind of writing process for these different characters. I know I want to convey a positive message to not only my nephews but whomever might listen to it. And at the same time, it's been a great exercise in understanding my own unconscious bias. I hadn't really thought too much about the illustrations and what these people might look like, but I certainly was leaning white, and I wasn't wasn't giving it much thought. And so the past few weeks, I started to rethink that a bit, and want to make sure that all of these characters are depicted as someone of a diverse background. So whether they're disabled, Helpful Hank is the second one, and right away I'm thinking he's doing all these helpful things. He must be able-bodied, but really, if you look at my lyrics to it, there's nothing specific about him being able-bodied. Right. And so I'm requesting from Melanie and whomever I end up working with that we can create characters that don't look like me, that my nephews might not react the same way that they would have if I made them another long-haired white guy, assuming that that's the only people that I hang out with. Sure. Or look up to. So it's kind of touched upon different things as events have unfolded the last couple of weeks and months.
That's awesome. And would you say that COVID-19 has, because I mean, personally, I think 2020 has been like a super shitty year so far. What is it? June 8th? And it's just been like 5 months of just garbage. Just January was okay, and February we started, getting closer and hearing those rumblings about, the virus is coming for you. Oh, it's coming, and things started getting shut down in March, and we really holed up in our respective homes and apartments, and wherever we were, sort of devoid of communication and all that stuff. Do you see a silver lining a little bit in COVID-19 and sort of what it's done for your creativity?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, one thing that I want to say is that let's say we make it out of the COVID era in such a way that we almost forget sometimes. I'll kind of say that. And let's say with what's happening with racial injustice and police brutality, let's say, I mean, that's less realistic, but let's say we do make it to a point where we start to feel better about ourselves as a nation. I think we're always going to find things in our life that are negative and that are positive. I think it's kind of one of those things where I try and think of maybe my grandparents who fought in a war, and I sitting at home to protect other people is admirable, but it's certainly not this kind of sacrifice that a lot of generations before us and till this day are doing for this country. So I think we always have to have the perspective that you can always find a silver lining in any scenario. And for me, just being able to wake up every day and be healthy and know that I'm part of different communities that I can reach out to has really been inspiring. So I think in a way there is a silver lining to all this for me, because it kind of has brought to light how special it is to see each other in person. It's kind of brought to light, who's there for you and who just to be able to sit in a park with someone 20 feet apart and play guitar, which I've done once with a friend of mine who's a nurse. And I mean, that was such a memorable night. I feel like it might have been overlooked if I had that option every night, in a way. So I guess it's a really tough time, and it's certainly not tougher on me than it is anyone else. That's for sure. But I think we do find ways to kind of come together. I play on my front porch a lot. I'm not sure how many people would wave and say hi to me before all this. Now they do. They do a lot more. I think they just kind of appreciate hearing a tune while they're walking or running by, things like that.
Right.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. And I feel the same way. Just, you got to put things into perspective. I think the last time that I was actually like physically with you, the last two times rather, we're practicing for a gig, and then we played a gig, and we're hanging out, high fiving, hugged at the end of the evening, all that stuff, and it's like, you know, like I can't, like, this is the way that I have to high five you, you know what I mean? Like right at this time, bam,
Yeah.
and it just puts into perspective, like, some of those things that we take for granted, and one of those things that I really took for granted, outside of just seeing people, was the ability to go in and have those live concerts and have people in front of you, and just drawing off that energy from people. So you have been performing live as of late. Have you done any like virtual things? Have you included that in your repertoire at all? And do you think that some sort of hybridization of that, it might be the wave of the future?
I think in a way, I mean, technology is only going to get better with how we are. It can be really difficult with delay and feedback and things like that, as you know. So I think it's kind of, I've seen a lot of cool projects where people have put their own different tracks together, and all of a sudden there's like 15 people on the screen. It's all recorded, but it's something that they didn't need to do before, and so I think that will kind of progress. And when it's 2050, we'll be saying, wow, we didn't start that until COVID happened. And now it's such a perfect process, virtual tip jars, all these things that are starting to come about. What was the other part of the question? It was,
have you been doing anything virtual yourself?
Oh, right.
As far as performances.
My only virtual experience with performing has been singing Happy Birthday for the birthday celebrations for my nephews and niece, which I think it's people appreciate the effort, but it's chaos. But with that said, in terms of virtual side of music, I've definitely been looking more into teaching guitar, beginner level guitar, singing, songwriting, and have a few people lined up that are interested. So I'm certain that I'm going to learn a lot about music and how it relates to this virtual world. It's a lot harder to see what people are doing. It's a lot.
Right.
It's harder when things are backwards because of the way the camera is facing, and so on and so forth. But no, right now, I haven't done any. I know there've been virtual open mics. I think you sent me one or two. Haven't pulled the trigger on those, but I think as it kind of gets more, maybe not accessible, but just maybe a little bit easier to understand, and people, people will gravitate towards it a bit more. I miss the live thing. I'll watch my favorite artists on videos, and it helps, but it's certainly not the same.
Not the same. Yeah.
No vibration in the room. Not sharing it with people that you typically would. It's a whole different ball game. So I'm hopeful that I'll get more into it. But for now, basically, it's been the happy birthdays that have been tough to make it come across clean and people can hear it and so on.
Speaking of birthdays, you had a birthday last month?
It's actually tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow. Oh, there we go. Happy upcoming birthday. See,
Thanks.
This was see, it's all kumbaya, and like, I think a lot of things were coalescing here. I don't think I chose this date accidentally. I completely chose this date accidentally. But yeah, happy upcoming birthday.
Appreciate that.
How old are you gonna be?
Tomorrow's 31.
Here we go, the big 3-1. You don't look a day over 20.
It gets better every year.
There we go.
So, yeah,
gets better every year, everyone. I am in my mid-30s. I won't tell everyone how old I am. I want them to see my youthful face and think of me as a young whippersnapper.
Dude, you look.
But yes, it's.
We look the same as we did, minus the fact that I've able to grow facial hair and hair. We pretty much look exactly the same. I feel as we
look exactly the same. I got a little more hair, and I mean that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
maybe some more ink. Tyler, as I look to wrap up this interview, I want to play a little game with you. The concept is like really, really simple. It's called Eliminate One. Um, Hopefully, these are some things that you kind of ponder a little bit and make you think, oh, I don't know how I could live without that. But you got to choose. You got to choose one. And I have a list of I have 10 different things that I'm going to fire off to you. 10 different categories, let's call it.
Okay.
And I want you to try to eliminate one and maybe tell me why you eliminated it.
Okay.
All right, let's go. All right, the first one, some awesome artists: Bill Withers, Twiddle, Eric Clapton. You got to eliminate one.
I have to eliminate one.
Eliminate one.
And I know there's no other. I would go on and ask more questions about the question, but I'm gonna say Eric Clapton for now. I think that, especially with what's been going on in the world, I've been seeing a lot of my favorite artists posting about all the artists that inspired them, especially Black and Brown artists, and the list it's just amazing. I think it's a shame that I don't know more, and I'm looking for someone like Bill Withers, who I'm already familiar with. I think I still owe him so much to not only for what he inspired the artists that I'm inspired by, but just not having given all of his albums a listen as an example. And Twiddle for me, Twiddle is
I know how you feel about Twiddle.
Inspirational for me. I'll cut out Eric Clapton. I think he's amazing, but I'll cut him out.
Yeah, and R.I.P. Bill Withers.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, so this one's a little bit more eclectic, and they're going to get a little more eclectic as we go down. So the second one is tambourine, shaker, woodblock. Got to eliminate one.
I'm gonna eliminate the tambourine.
Oh man, you don't love a good tambourine?
I like all of them, but I was thinking the other two are so straightforward and simple, which I kind of like, and so I don't know, that I could have really gone either way on that.
Yeah, I hear you. This one's a little more straightforward. This one, some of my two favorite veggies: kale or spinach. Got to eliminate one.
Kale or spinach, eliminate one. I will.
You seem like a Popeye guy. Don't disappoint me.
I'll eliminate kale. I did kale pretty heavy for a while, and spinach it just, especially if you want to do something other than eat it raw. I think spinach is the way to go.
Spinach. Oh, love me some spinach. This one's going to be an interesting one because of where you live now, and I know where you grew up. Somerville or Milford? Sorry, Somerville or Milford?
That's easy. I think Milford. I gotta cut out. Yeah, I mean, it was a great place to grow up, and back to being very fortunate and very privileged to live there. Pretty diverse in a sense, but certainly has a lot of missing features in a town that I love, just because Somerville next to Cambridge is, with music, I don't think you can get any better, and I think it's just a really nice community here.
Absolutely. I love Somerville. It hurts me that my wife and I and my daughter, we couldn't stay there. It's too damn expensive to buy a house there. So we had to go, but it's only 25-minute drive. So we'll be back there for more things.
Oh yeah.
Like Summerfest 2021 or 2020, depending on how it goes with the vaccine. So we're gonna move on to number 5. This one's gonna be tricky. I'm not gonna lie to you. Got to eliminate one. Mother's Day or Father's Day? Let's go.
Father's Day. I mean, how could I do that to my mom?
I know.
Moms everywhere.
I know.
Fathers are great. Don't get me wrong, but
fathers don't even like Father's Day. Like I have a Father's Day coming up, and like my wife is like, what do you want? What do you want me to do? And I'm like, I don't care. I don't care about.
Yeah, that. like I called Zoe on Mother's Day, and if I called you on Father's Day, I'd feel like you'd be like, yeah, thanks, man. Whatever.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Click. Whatever.
So yeah, mom's is best. Mom's
That is the right answer. That is the right answer. Number 6 is a sports one. NHL, NBA, NFL, or MLB, Major League Baseball. Got to cut one.
MLB. Too slow for me. I know, dude. You got it on your chest. I know it.
I know what you mean.
I respect it. I don't hate on it, but that's an easy cut for me. It's just too slow. Too slow for me.
Yeah, come on, baseball. Get with the times, bro.
Cut the innings down or do something. Make
Do
it
something.
a 2.5 hour thing. And I'll hop on.
Yeah. All right, number 7. You're a big musician. I kind of know which way this is. I know which one you're not gonna cut based on my intuition. Guitarists, vocalists, bassists, drummers. Let's go.
I'm gonna cut vocals. I really do love to sing, and I love hearing people sing. But those other three, I mean, I played bass maybe once or twice recently. I actually really loved it. I can't play the drums, but I know how much they support guitar, which is my favorite thing. So I could never say I want to cut those, knowing that they let other instruments shine. And so if I saw just an instrumental band, which I know a lot that I do enjoy, I think, I couldn't live without the other ones, but I'll cut the vocal.
Yeah. That hurts my heart because I'm a rapper and we're vocalists. We're a type of vocalist, and that's what I'm really good at. Yeah. It's okay, Tyler. It's all right. Number 8, Seinfeld, Friends.
Which one to eliminate?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to eliminate Friends. I think that
my man
Seinfeld is going to age really well in a way that it's just everyday stuff. Like Friends was fun to watch. I enjoyed Friends with the drama of it and the ongoing plot. But I just thought the dialogue in Seinfeld and the way that they approach subject matter is really impressive.
Cool. I like that. I mean, that is the right answer.
I'm glad all of these have right answers, by the way.
Well, I mean, in my book, they don't really have a right answer.
Yeah.
I know people maybe following along at home or wherever they are, and they're probably like, "Screw you, brown dude. Friends was the best, idiot." But it wasn't. So, number 9. This is the penultimate question here for eliminate one. Got to eliminate one though. Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime.
Luckily, I only have one of those. So
okay.
I'll eliminate Amazon, simply because I hate Amazon, what they stand for. Not a Prime member. I try and avoid ordering things
for you
and encouraging others to do so. And I know a lot of people work for them, and that's good for them to be making some money. But in the long run, I hope they have less power and influence over the world rather than more over our life.
Right on. All right, the last one is really, really silly, but I don't know. I thought of it and I had to ask it anyway. A, E, I, O, U, or sometimes Y. You gotta eliminate one.
I'll eliminate I as a representative of narcissism and
my man.
Yeah. Gotta think of others before yourself. So
I don't know. That's sometimes why thing, it gets me. Like why sometimes? Who made the rule on that? You're either in or you're out. It's pretty binary. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Tyler, thanks so much for coming on. This is something that is very new to me, doing interviews. I've been interviewed a couple of times, and it's always easier on the other end. Just thinking of questions and trying to figure out how to evoke certain things out of people and all that. I think I'm doing an okay job. Okay, I think I'm like 2 for 2.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
But so that everyone has a reference point. Tyler and I go way back. He's one of my best friends. He's been riding with me, since my wife and I started doing events, and as the events got a little bit bigger, Tyler has always been there, in any capacity, and I want to support him as well. So, as the guitarist, as a friend, as an uncle, as anything that you would like to be. So please, Tyler, let everyone know where they can find you on social media. If you want to give your home address, I don't know. You probably don't want to give out your home address, but anywhere where you would like people to find you, especially after COVID-19 is over, so that they can come over and give you a big old hug. I know you're a big fan of hugs.
Oh, dude, can't wait to hug you and Zoe and the baby and everyone else in my life. But if all goes to plan, by the time this airs or is available for listeners, I'll have my YouTube page set up. It's going to be called Nick Nimble Music. And Nick Nimble has kind of been a character that I've been writing about that's turned almost into an alter ego of sorts. Some kind of like a character that I wish to live up to. And I try and carry myself as his character would. And so Nick Nimble Music, hopefully there'll be some great kid songs on there that if you have kids and you're a little sick of some of the traditional songs, hopefully you'll gravitate towards some of them. And I would plan after the kids songs to be releasing other more adult driven music, things that aren't written with the kids in mind. So if that all goes well, I'm hoping to have some type of social media presence, whether it be Instagram or Facebook. But I think for now, the YouTube is a good goal for me to get some content out there. And if people are looking, as you suggest, they have a place to find it. So YouTube, cool. Nick Nimble, Nimble Music, and hopefully this isn't all for nothing, and there's some content on there by the time this airs.
We can make it air whenever you want. So that's really easy. And, since I'm doing all the editing and all that stuff, I won't put your home address up there, but, any other, pieces of social, and your online presence and all that stuff, whatever you have at that point, I'll slap it up there and people will be able to find you.
Yeah. And I am on Facebook, under Tyler Allan. So you'll find me on there if you want to message me directly. I think you could probably do that through YouTube. I'm pretty bad with how everything works, so I'm not sure what's ideal, but you can find me if you want to message me about anything. And otherwise, I hope you guys enjoy the podcast that you're doing, or these interviews, and hopefully we can have some type of Summerfest 2020. We can sneak one in, but otherwise we'll be back for 21. Looking forward to it.
That's right. Viva Summerfest. Tyler Allan, thank you so much for being on. And I'll see you guys next time with another interview from someone. We'll figure out who it is. Maybe my wife, maybe my daughter. She doesn't really speak much. That would be a really boring interview if I interviewed my daughter. It would be like 20 seconds. But yeah, we'll be back with more content, and check out Tyler. It's my guy.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Steph. Appreciate it.